everyone. Welcome to This Just In.
And It's Grim, a bi-weekly series where two friends of 3 decades chat about dark subjects.
Before we begin, you should be warned that our series contains language, themes, and material not suitable for children or sensitive Sallies.
So hide your babies and your boomers, and let's dig in. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. We're back. We're back. We're back. This is our last episode, huh?
Alien voiceover that we could
Yeah,
do.
I know. I'm really bad at like voice. I'm bad at voices. I try annoyingly to do them, but it's so bad. But yeah, no, I can't do it.
I really do try the like impressions and accents and stuff, and it's usually just
You have a good. I think you have a good British accent. I think you do that
thank
one
you.
very good. You're welcome.
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of the Geico Gecko, and
Yeah.
I just say everything in his voice in my head. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
I don't really have an inner monologue, but whenever I do, it's the Geico Gecko.
So we were talking about that last night. Me and him. We were talking about him, that guy. We were talking that one guy, that one dude. No, we were talking about like if I have an inner monologue or not, if I have like inner dialogue, and I'm like, I don't know if I do. And he's like,
I
well,
don't either.
he's like, but when you think to do something, like, what do you think? And I'm like, nah, I just do it. Like,
Exactly.
it's like I just do it. I don't know. I don't think about it. But then I was like, well, sometimes I think I do, but am I tripping? Do I never have it? I don't know. I'm trying to pay more attention though, because I don't know if I do or not.
Yeah,
It's
whenever someone's
weird.
like, what are you thinking about? I'm like, nothing. Like, how can you not be thinking about anything? I was like, there's not a single thing going on in my brain right now.
That's how.
You.
That's how. I cleaned the slate, okay?
I'm looking at a tree. I'm not thinking about a damn thing. I'm just looking at the tree.
Okay, no, same. So I guess I'm the same. I don't have one either. Good thing,
Yeah.
because could you imagine that?
My God, it would be
Oh.
a nightmare.
I would be irritated with myself all of the fucking time. I already don't shut the fuck up. God damn. Could you imagine? I would be committed. Let's be honest. I would be committed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I have like you know, when people have like intrusive thoughts or whatever, like mine are vivid images flashing in my brain.
Same.
And it's so upsetting.
Same.
It's so upsetting. And so whenever somebody says something like, can you imagine what happened to that child? I fucking see it in my brain.
Same. Me too. Same exact thing. I have I have the exact same affliction, dude. Like, I remember whenever I wasn't watching, but I was like hanging out with my nephew, and he was really, really little, like 2. So he was just kind of, the sloppy toddler that's like, kind of falling over and like just kind of learning his moves, And they had this big mirror, like a wall mirror that was there, and he would always go up to it and like play on it. And I just would have these images of it falling forward and like smashing him. And I was like, what is wrong with my brain that I'm picturing this every time he does this? And so I told my sister, I was like, do you have this? She's like, oh, yeah, all the time. Like, I'm constantly seeing seeing him in danger, because it's like, you're looking for it. I was like, okay, thank God I'm not crazy. But like, it worried me. I was like, why do I keep picturing this?
Yeah, I took a nap earlier, and my youngest went outside to kick the ball around. And I'm like, I can't sleep knowing he's out there,
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, I mean, we don't have a fence. It's like an okay neighborhood, but like, I would be like, when I'm out, I'm out. Like, I'll be out for 3 hours, like, and homie could be long gone, like, like, I would have no idea. So I was like, it's constant. I don't think it's ever gonna stop.
No, I don't think so either. Just worry warts. Anyways, guys, welcome back.
We could get back on track.
They're like, We didn't come here and listen to you two bitches talk about this shit. Anyways, it's our last episode of our spooky season, and I had a blast. Did you have a blast with this
Yes.
one? This was
Yes,
so much
absolutely.
fun. Oh my god. I hope you guys had fun too. And I gotta be honest, I think out of all of the topics, this one has more mystery around it than anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's warranted, if I'm being honest. And maybe
I
you
know.
guys will, you guys will see that at the end. But I do think there's a lot of mystery around this, so we had to include it.
Hmm.
And we're talking about Area 51, guys. We're
Yep.
covering Area 51 today. But before we jump into it, let's let Mima do her thing.
All right, Nemo.
This episode contains conspiracies, death, and little green men. Grab the tin foil.
Go down, scroll down. Okay. All right, thanks, Mima. Now, imagine a place so classified that for nearly 60 years the government refused to admit it even existed. Known to the public as Area 51, this facility is a high security military installation hidden deep within the Nevada desert. While pop culture has spent decades painting it as a warehouse for crashed UFOs and alien technology, the reality is grounded in a much more human obsession: absolute military superiority. Located roughly 83 miles north of Las Vegas, the base is situated on the edge of a dry salt flat called Groom Lake. Since its establishment in 1955, it has served as the ultimate black site, a testing ground for the most advanced experimental aircraft and weapons systems ever devised. It is a place where the rules of normal society don't apply. The airspace above it is a no-go zone for all but the most elite pilots, and the land itself is a 2.9 million acre buffer of desert and mountains. The area of Area 51 isn't just about what is flying in the sky, it's a study in systemic secrecy. It is a location where thousands of people commute daily on unmarked planes, yet no one can legally talk about what they do. By stripping away the sci fi myths, we find a fortress built in isolation and funded by a black budget that operates entirely out of the public's view. To understand Area 51 is to understand how a state maintains its power by creating a void where the truth is whatever the authorities say it is. Now, Amy is going to take us back to the beginning.
So, the mystery behind Area 51 has been around my whole life. I grew up in the area in southern Arizona, and my grandparents lived in New Mexico, and we lived in Las Vegas for a little while. So, the area is very well known, and like the whole concept is very nostalgic. I imagine like American like culture, like Area 51 is like deep in
It's Americana.
American culture. It is
Definitely.
absolutely. Okay,
100%.
but help me out here. Like you've done this drive before as well throughout the
100%. Yep.
and what is something that you would see driving in that area?
You mean like, are you talking about like alien shit? Like what do you mean? Are you talking about like alien like billboards and shit like that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a
Exactly.
lot of that. There's a lot of I mean, it's just a lot of merch, let's say. A lot of alien merch along that
Tourist
drive.
traps. Yeah.
Absolutely. The Thing, remember?
Yes.
The
Oh my God.
Thing.
The
What is the
thing.
thing? The mysterious thing. I went and
But
saw
I
The Thing.
loved it. You did?
Yeah,
I don't think
I
I
did.
couldn't talk my mom into it. So
I will never, ever, ever disclose what The Thing is. You all have to go see it for yourself. It's on Highway 10 in Arizona.
yeah. But like driving around like as a kid seeing all this shit like it just makes like your
Oh, yeah.
mind go wild because we didn't have
Yeah.
fucking cell phones, we didn't have no tablets, we just got to look out the window and
And
probably like
wonder.
punch your siblings and shit,
Exactly.
like
Exactly. That's it. Throw some shit at each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so like it just makes your mind just go to so many different places. So
It's true.
even though maybe what we are talking about in a little bit, it's not as hyped up as it was in our brains as a child, but I just want to bring that out and just talk about that, nostalgia
Yeah.
as a kid driving around.
No,
You
it's
would
super
see
cool. Cause like I
it
feel
was.
I think anybody that lived in like Southwest America that like lived in the high desert areas of that, region or whatever. I think they kind of just feel that. Like we grew, especially in the 90s. Like, guys, we had like Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Independence Day. Like, you know,
X-Files were huge.
X-Files was huge. Huge. Like we were primed for this kind of thinking. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Especially if you were in the Southwest, especially if you were in the area. Yeah.
Yes, so those billboards for all kinds of tourist traps, I just love them. There was like UFO Xing signs, extraterrestrial highway.
Yes, yes. Real. Yep, aliens are real, baby.
It was just so much fun. So growing up with that lore was surreal. So I feel like if you have spent any amount of time in that area, you have also experienced.
You know what we're talking about. Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
So,
yeah.
But even if you haven't grown up here, you probably have heard about Area 51. So in this area of Nevada, it's heavily guarded. Only specific military with clearance are allowed there. When you drive toward it, you'll hit a cattle guard and then warning signs about the use of deadly force and security personnel on a distant ridge line watching you through long-range optics. So it took until June 25th, 2013 for the CIA to officially confirm what the surrounding communities had known for years. Groom Lake was real. The facility is officially called Homey Airport, but the rest of the world calls it Area 51. So for backstory, before we get into it, there is a type of plane, okay? And I'm going to try and tell it to people as a dumb girl, okay? I'm trying here, okay?
You're not dumb.
I'm a dumb girl, okay?
I have a little brain because I'm a girl.
But like, literally, when I was reading this shit, I'm like, because I don't like. It's hard for me to really get hyped up about like
military installations. Like, no, this is boring as shit, guys. Like, can I? Okay, I'm gonna say my piece here off the top, and I'm sure I am sure everyone's gonna get this vibe by the end of this episode. You guys, I'm just gonna say my piece on this, and Area 51 is a highly classified military installation. It is made to house our highest form of military technology. This is what we use to be the greatest, biggest, most efficient military in the entire fucking world. Yeah. The world. This is why we are feared. This is our military, guys. This is a big reason why we're feared, is because they keep shit secret. It's not that they're holding weird shit. It's not, guys, it's that they don't want everyone to come over here and fucking kill us. Yeah. So like, I don't know. That's just my piece on it. I do believe that they hold a lot of secrets. I really do. But I do truly in my heart of hearts believe that those secrets are definitely meant for the reason that they tell us that it's meant for.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Yeah, you know, kind of like, just, I mean, and even if they do some alien shit off the side, which we're going to get into too, but even if there is that, why is that our business either? Let them do it. You know, they're keeping us safe, guys. Let them dingle an alien once in a while. I don't know. Anyways, that was my piece. I'm done with that.
Okay, so this airplane, and it's called a U-2, like that terrible band. And it's a single engine aircraft with a glider-like wings designed to operate above 70,000 feet. And this is beyond any interceptor missile at the time. So its first liftoff was accidental, and it was on August 1st, 1995. The test pilot, Tony Levier, was running taxi tests when the plane unexpectedly left the ground. The first intentional flight followed August 4th. Within a year, it's overflying the Soviet Union and had become, the CIA's own words, immediately the most important source of intelligence on the Soviet Union. So, very big deal, okay, this plane. Nobody planned for this part, but the U-2 generated massive wave of UFO sightings that the government could not explain without blowing the program's cover. So they had to just be like, yeah, it is UFO, you know?
Yeah, because of course,
they can't tell people what it actually is.
No, because it's top secret military shit.
It's beating everybody else's shit. So
exactly, we don't want them to have that.
We can't tell them about our good shit. Sure, it's a UFO.
100%.
Sure, yeah, it's aliens.
And I mean, technically, it is to civilians because you're not going to ever identify that because it's top fucking secret. So technically, it's true.
Object.
Sure is.
Absolutely.
You know?
So in the mid 50s, commercial airliners flew between 10,000 and 20,000 feet. Okay. So as you heard before, this one was flying at 70,000. It's a big fucking deal. Okay. Military aircraft operated below 40,000. When the U-2 started flying above 60,000 feet, pilots and air traffic controllers began reporting fiery objects in the sky that no one expected to see at that altitude. In the early evening, the plane's silver wings caught the setting sun and appeared to airline pilots 40,000 feet below to glow with an orange radiance unlike anything previously seen. The Air Force created Operation Blue Book to manage the flood of reports. What we know now from declassified records is that the Blue Book investigators cross-checked the UFO reports against U-2 and later flight logs, and when the times and locations matched, they closed the file. So they could not tell witnesses what they had actually seen. By the CIA's own documented accounting, the U-2 and Oxcart, and I'll talk about that in a moment, flights accounted for more than half of all UFO reports during the late 1950s and the 60s. The government was not hiding alien spacecraft, it was hiding spy planes. So let me tell you about what Project Oxcart is before going further. So Project Oxcart was a highly classified Cold War program by the CIA to develop a successor to the U-2 spy plane. So an even more badass spy plane. So the aircraft's wide disc-like fuselage, designed to carry enormous fuel loads, produced a silhouette unlike anything previously seen in the sky. Oxcart veterans have stated explicitly that the aircraft generated another wave of UFO reports through the early 1960s. By 1965, Area 51 had operated for 10 years, producing the most advanced aircraft in history, killing multiple test pilots and generating UFO mythology as an accidental byproduct. It had not officially existed for a single day of that decade. That is the confirmed declassified decade: spy planes, dead pilots, and government-manufactured UFOs. So large, it required its own official program just to track it. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. What's up, buddy? Why do you seem bummed?
Honestly, I've been really wanting a new shirt lately, or a coffee mug. Just a little something to treat myself.
And why can't you?
I've searched everywhere. The shirts online are low-quality polyester blends, and I hate supporting the man.
Okay, but what about the mugs? What's the issue with those?
Oh, the mugs. Even if I manage to find a mug that doesn't have a number one whoever or live, laugh, love on it, they cost a fortune.
You're right. Mug money is hard to come by in this economy, but you deserve to treat yourself, and I have news that may cheer you up.
Oh, really?
If you head over to thisjustin and itsgrim.com, they have shirts and mugs just like you want.
Are the shirts 100% cotton, not some cheap poly blend?
That's right, and they come in a wide range of sizes. And before you ask, the mugs don't have an inspirational quote.
That sounds too good to be true. It must cost a fortune, or be backed by some kind of corpo scum.
Nope, the prices are steal, and it's run by two best friends. No corpo scum anywhere near the product.
Well, Amy, it looks like I will be able to treat myself after all. This just in, and it's grim.com, right?
Yep. And while you're there, sign up for email. You'll get up-to-date information on episodes and the show, of course. Info on merch as well.
Thanks, dude. I'm heading there now, and if the prices are as low as you say, I'll treat you too.
Thanks, buddy. All right, so we are back, and let's get into the nitty-gritty of what is verified as far as Area 51 goes. So the confirmed history of Area 51 does not need extraterrestrials for it to be extraordinary. The programs that have been declassified through Freedom of Information Act requests, primarily through the National Security Archive at George Washington University, involve a stolen Soviet aircraft being flown in the Nevada desert. A stealth fighter, the public public did not know existed for 7 years, and an aircraft that resembled a flying saucer and might as well have been designed for UFO reports. The beginning in the 1960s, Area 51 became a site for evaluating captured Soviet military aircraft. The logic was direct: to know how to fight Soviet airplanes. So you had to fly them to learn. So
Mhm.
the first major program, and I can't tell you, these names have annoyed me to no end, by the way. So the name is Have Donut. Okay, so this is going to sound kind of stupid.
The names that we like, just when we did the MK Ultra one and all
Oh,
the
I know.
nicknames for all of the
Yes.
projects, like let's get more fucking creative, y'all.
Come
This
on,
is
guys.
lame, dude.
I
Come
know.
on.
I know. So, I mean, by now they probably are just struggling to come up with names, but like, anyways, back then I feel like maybe we had a little bit more, leeway. So whoever the fuck
Yeah.
named these are stupid. Anyways, so Have Donut was a top secret 1968 Defense Intelligence Agency project to evaluate a captured Soviet MiG-21 Fishbed fighter jet. In early 1968, the Air Force obtained a Soviet fighter after an Iraqi pilot defected to Israel with it. So the aircraft was given a false American designation called YF to hide its origin. So basically, they found an aircraft from the Soviet Union. They called it something else to hide that it was their airplane, and they're doing shit to it to figure out what the fuck's going on so they
Sure.
can be better. So yeah. The
Be the
aircraft,
best.
yeah, for real. So the US pilots flew it in 102 test flights over 40 days, logging 77 hours. The results produced 300-page Defense Intelligence Agency evaluation that gave American pilots detailed knowledge about its capabilities before they met it in combat in Vietnam. So, sounds like they got their exactly what they wanted from it. So, two follow-on programs called Have Drill and Have Ferry.
Will travel. Like what?
I know, so dumb. So, evaluated the older aircrafts in 1969. Have Drill logged 172 flights over 55 days. Have Ferry logged 52 over 20 days. During this period, so many Soviet aircrafts were flying over Area 51 that personnel nicknamed the base the Red Square. So in the 1970s, Area 51 hosted the program that produced the world's first operational stealth fighter. The theoretical foundation came from 1962 Soviet mathematics paper on electromagnetic scattering by physicist Pyotr Yefimstev, translated by the Air Force Foreign Technology Division and largely ignored in the USSR. American engineers at Lockheed recognized that Pyotr's equations provided a blueprint for designing an aircraft whose radar cross-section could be reduced to near zero. The Advanced Research Project Agency launched a proof of concept program called Have Blue. Yeah. Its its first flight in Area 51 was in April 1977. Based on the results, the Air Force launched the full development program Senior Trend in November of 78. So the F-117 Nighthawk first flew from Groom Lake on June 18th, 1981. The Air Force declared its operational in 1983. The public did not know it existed until 88, 7 years after its first flight. It flew combat missions in Desert Storm in 1991 and Iraqi Freedom in 2003, and then was retired in 2008. The F-117's angular diamond-like surface, designed to scatter radar beams in every direction except back towards the transmitter, looked unlike any aircraft in the public's visual vocabulary. Observers near the Nevada desert in the 90s who spotted it at night were not wrong to call it unidentified. They just did not know what they were looking at. One additional detail about Area 51's secrecy: In 74, Skylab astronauts accidentally photographed the Groom Lakes facility from orbit, despite explicit instructions not to. The CIA attempted to have the photograph removed from public record. It was already in NASA's publicly available photo archive. The base that officially did not exist had been photographed from space, and the photograph was already out. Now Rox is going to take us down another rabbit hole.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Amy. So, Area 51. So, Area 51 security. It's usually handled by private contractors, often linked to EG&G and AECOM. They are authorized to use lethal force, a fact made clear by the ever-present signs warning that use of deadly force is authorized. This doesn't mean that there haven't been breach attempts along the way. Now, the single most damaging crime against the base's anonymity wasn't a bomb, but a whistleblower, Bob Lazar, or Lazar, I'm not sure. He went on Las Vegas television to claim he worked on back engineering alien craft at S4, a sub-facility of Area 51. Now, whether he was a fraud or a hero is secondary. His disclosure was a massive breach of non-disclosure agreements and classification protocols. It effectively ended the base's ability to remain invisible and turned a quiet testing ground into a global tourist destination. Also, during the Cold War, Soviet satellites consistently attacked the base schedule. Staff had to time their experimental flights to hide within the gaps between satellite passes. On January 28th, so this is more recently, on January 28th, 2019, Nekilo Dwayne Graves, a 27-year-old man from Iowa, drove his vehicle through the main security gate. Graves bypassed the initial checkpoint and led a high-speed pursuit for 8 miles into the high-security zone. He got pretty far. He was pursued by both NNSS Security Protective Force officers and a Nye County Sheriff's deputy. After the 8-mile mark, Graves stopped his vehicle and exited. According to official reports, he approached the officers while carrying a cylindrical object in his hand. Officers issued multiple verbal commands to stop and drop the object. When Graves allegedly failed to comply and continued to approach, both the deputy and a security officer opened fire. Graves was pronounced dead at the scene.
Shit.
So when they say that they are authorized to use deadly force, guys, they absolutely mean it. They will shoot you dead if you go on this property. So there have been, it's wild. So there have been numerous reports of civilian drones attempting to cross the R-4AOAN restricted airspace. These are treated as serious security threats and are often intercepted or jammed, so I don't think anybody has been, severely punished or anything for that, but they definitely don't get very far with those things. And finally, depending on where you fall on the confidentiality line, there has been intellectual and legal theft perpetrated against the base. Groups like the Federation of American Scientists and investigative journalists have used the Freedom of Information Act as a weapon. By relentlessly suing for documents, they effectively stole the base's official secret status in 2000, forcing the CIA to acknowledge the site, as we mentioned before. Now, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, I'll be diving into Area 51 conspiracies, babies.
Hey listeners, if you live in Colorado and haven't added functional fungi to your wellness routine, you might be missing that key ingredient.
That's right. Studies show that mushrooms can have a variety of benefits, and the folks over at Activated Brands have done the science for us.
Located in Arvada, Colorado, Activated uses the latest in extraction technology to create high-quality mushroom products like gummies and elixirs.
So you get the benefit in convenient and tasty ways, like sour melon or strawberry horchata gummies, and the apple mint elixir.
And not just products, Activated Brands host workshops, offer a community workspace to local growers, and have all of supplies, information, and advice available if you want to grow for yourself.
And that's why you can trust a company like Activated Brands. They are always willing to share their expertise. But don't take our word for it. Go see for yourself. The lab is open.
For more information like hours and location, or to order products, you can visit activatedbrands.com or check them out on Instagram.
Now back to the show. And
Swear
we
to
are
God.
back. Huh. Swear to
Just
God, what?
fucking driving into the fucking, like, kidding?
Dude,
That dude must have been, like,
he wanted to
Meth?
see an
I don't
alien.
know. Like, I guess.
You
I mean,
out there, probably Beth. Honestly, I mean, come on. Yeah, he's Walter Whiting his way through.
oh my God.
I mean, sad though. Like, it's just not
Yeah.
worth it. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you're not gonna get far. Governments try to
No.
intercept. Other governments
Yeah.
try to get into Area 51 somehow. If they can't do it with all their military power and money, guys, nobody with a Toyota 4Runner is gonna do it. Like, what? Stop it.
But we have both known those people that get so enamored in
Sure.
conspiracy theories that it
Yeah.
just overcomes every part of their
Right.
life, and they're just like, I have to
They're
fucking know.
I have to know. Why do you need to know though? Like, it's such a weird thing. Anyways, it's entitlement. Anyways, so like, well, obviously we're back. But
Yeah.
now, if you guys listened to our episode about MK Ultra, then you would have noticed that we are of the opinion that the CIA launched the modern American conspiracy theory. So it shouldn't come as a complete shock to learn that the building that they had constructed would house a few itself. The first one is that Area 51, specifically the dry beds of Groom Lake, served as the filming location for the 1969 Apollo 11 moon landing. Conspiracists theorized that because the United States was desperate to win the space race against the US government hired filmmaker Stanley Kubrick to direct the landing on a high security set within the base. Many point to the parallel shadows, suggestive of studio lighting, and the waving flag in the vacuum of space, claiming the Nevada desert provided the perfect desolate backdrop for the deception. Now, side note, Stanley Kubrick is very meticulous in his filmmaking process. And the government is not meticulous in any of their processes. So I'm not saying that they didn't film the moon landing. I'm just saying I highly doubt it was Stanley Kubrick that could have pulled that off. Because it would have taken him years to film that.
And the thought of those astronauts like doing take after take after take after take after take after take after take.
They wouldn't have done it, guys. They wouldn't have put up with his bullshit. None of the government officials would have. You know, like, I just don't know if it would have been him. Maybe, but not him. Anyways, that's just a little side note what I think of that. The next is the belief that Area 51 is the operational hub for geoengineering and weather modification. They believe that the base houses advanced chemical and electromagnetic arrays used to manipulate weather patterns as a form of warfare. For example, to induce droughts in hostile nations or steer hurricanes, effectively weaponizing the environment. There have also been claims suggesting the existence of technology that can see into the future or past by warping space-time. This includes teleportation portals that the staff can actually travel through via a displacement tunnel or jump room, connecting Area 51 to other black sites like the Montauk Project or the Pentagon. Then there is a theory that suggests the base is used to develop high-tech mass hallucinations like advanced holographic projectors and voice-to-skull audio technology. The reason? To stage a false flag event, like a simulated god or a fake invasion, to justify the implementation of global martial law. Interesting, huh? Could you imagine that? I mean, that's just wild. Like, I don't know. I'd be like, nah, I don't know. I don't want to see receipts. Like, I don't believe that. I don't believe this. You know? No, I'm kidding. I'm gullible as hell. I'd be like, holy shit. But anyways, the Area 51 megatropolis theory is that the Groom Lake facility is merely the lobby for a massive, multi-level subterranean city that stretches across the Nevada border. Theorists claim a high-speed train system connects Area 51 to other secret facilities like the Denver International Airport or the Dulce base. I know. Allowing the shadow government to survive a nuclear holocaust when the surface burns. And finally, secret human augmentation. This is the notion that Area 51 is a site for Project MK Ultra successors, focusing on biological engineering, super soldier programs, and human-computer interfaces. including augmented humans or AI human hybrids, whose bodies have been modified to withstand and high G forces that would kill a standard pilot. Of course, the list of conspiracies tied to the site is ever growing. Those are not the only ones. And no matter which one you decide to jump into the rabbit hole over, you will inevitably come to one of the most pervasive of them all, little green men. Amy, do you want to pick up what I'm throwing down?
Absolutely. So, no discussion of Area 51 is complete without Roswell. So the two are linked in public consciousness as tightly as any two locations in American history, and the government's own behavior is the reason why. So in mid-June of 1947, a rancher by the name Mac Brazel found unusual debris scattered across the property 75 miles north of Roswell, New Mexico. On July 7th, with UFO reports dominating the news, he brought samples to the local sheriff. The Roswell Army Airfield dispatched intelligence officer Major Jesse Marcel to recover the debris. On July 8th of 1947, RAAF's public information officer issued a press release announcing the recovery of a flying disc. It went worldwide instantly. Within 24 hours, Commanding General Roger Ramey of the 8th Air Force retracted it. The debris was a weather balloon. Photographs were released of Ramey and Marcel with the balloon debris. The story appeared to be over. For the next 30 years, it mostly was. It was not until the late 1970s when UFO researchers began interviewing Roswell veterans that the story came roaring back, now accompanied by accounts of unusual materials and, in some version, bodies. In 1994, the Air Force released a report acknowledging that the weather balloon, in quotations, explanation has been false. What actually crashed was a classified high-altitude balloon array from Project Mogul, a program using acoustic sensors to detect Soviet nuclear tests. 1997, a second Air Force report addressed the persisting claims about alien bodies. It concluded those accounts most likely reflected memories of parachute crash test dummies from high altitude experiments, an injured airman, the casualties from a separate aircraft accident, consolidated and distorted by decades of retellings. Whole bunch of nonsense. The General Accounting Office conducted its own independent audit in 1994. It found no records of alien bodies or extraterrestrial materials anywhere in the relevant command records. Some records from Roswell's Army airfield had been destroyed, but no evidence connected their destruction to a cover-up of extraterrestrial materials. The public link between Roswell and Area 51 was made specific in a 1988 syndicated television broadcast called UFO Cover-Up Live, in which anonymous sources identified only as Falcon and Condor claimed that recovered extraterrestrial technology from Roswell had been stored at Area 51. The broadcast set the stage for most influential figure in base's alien mythology.
I'm sorry, I can't. Well, if they said it,
yeah,
it must be true. Did you say Condor and Falcon? Yeah. All right, Goose and Maverick. Like, what in the hell is happening?
So in 2017, the New York Times reported on the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, a previously undisclosed $22 million program that ran from 2007 to 2012, investigating unidentified aerial phenomena reported by military personnel. In 2020, the Pentagon released 3 declassified videos of Navy pilot encounters with objects exhibiting flight characteristics pilots and analysts described as difficult to explain. In 2023, former intelligence officer David Grush testified before Congress under oath that the U.S. government had conducted multi-decade program to recover and reverse engineer non-human technology. I vividly remember nobody giving a fuck whenever that happened, by the way. We were all just sitting there like trying to get through the pandemic, and we're like, okay, aliens, I don't know. Okay,
No,
whatever.
nobody, no, like we knew that. We've known this for a long time, y'all. Like, I just think that, like, there's no way that I always go back. There's like a I'm pretty sure it's Carl Sagan, and he has a quote, and it's my favorite quote. Like, and I'm going to botch this. So if there's Carl Sagan fans, please don't come for me. Okay, I'm going to botch this. But generally, this is what it is. It's like, there are two truths that exist in the world. Either we're completely alone, or no, there's two truths that exist that are equally terrifying. Either we're completely alone or we aren't, you know? And it's like, yes, both are very scary, but I just could never imagine that we are the only living thing in the vast expanse of our universe and other universes and galaxies. It's like, I'm not saying that we've seen them. I'm not saying that they care about us or that we are ever going to come across them, but I just don't believe that we're the only ones.
Yeah,
You know?
same.
Yeah, that's it.
Same.
Yeah.
So, Gresh's testimony had not been proven false. It had not been corroborated by any evidence made public. The Department of Defense has denied his core claims. What is confirmed? The U.S. military has encountered aerial phenomena it cannot explain, and has reportedly chosen classification over disclosure. Whether any of it connects to Area 51 or extraterrestrial activity remains unconfirmed by any declassified source. Let's take a quick break, and when we get back, I'll be going over unverified Area 51 operations, and you will not want to miss it.
More conspiracy. I feel like there's so much more conspiracy than there is, like, I mean, there should be, because it's, you know, there's stuff that's secret that we shouldn't have access to and stuff. But, like, man, there's just so much built up around this place. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
I feel like in my brain, like, I see people who want to be like saved for the future, and they have them there. So I don't know why, like Frozen or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Or maybe their brains in a jar, and then they're just gonna implant the brains when they figure that shit out. I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah. Well, everything will come to light one day. I like it.
yeah.
I want to be Frozen desperately, so that's amazing.
I don't want to see the future. I'm good.
I do. It's because I'm nosy as hell. That's all. I'm just a nosy bitch, y'all. I don't know. Okay. FOMO.
So, in December of 1984, a documentary producer, Jamie Shindera, found a mysterious envelope in his mailbox bearing an Albuquerque postmark. Inside was an undeveloped roll of 35mm film. When developed, it contained 8 pages of what appeared to be classified briefing document prepared for President-elect Eisenhower, describing a 12-person secret committee of scientists, military officials, and intelligence leaders formed by President Truman after Roswell. Its name, Majestic 12. The alleged members included Vannevar Bush, who ran U.S. wartime scientific research, and Sidney Sowers, the first CIA director. The mission was to recover, study, and conceal all evidence of extraterrestrial contact. The story hit ABC's Nightline in 1987. In 88, broadcasts named Area 51 publicly for the first time as a storage site for recovered extraterrestrial materials. The FBI investigated and declared the documents fraudulent. Forensic analysis found anachronistic typefaces. Anachronistic typefaces? Okay, yeah.
I like it.
Inconsistent formatting and Truman's signature that did not match authenticated examples. No corroborating documents have ever surfaced from any archive. The unresolved detail: the forger clearly had access to classified information not in the public record at the time, including program details not declassified until years later. Whether the documents were produced inside the intelligence community as deliberate disinformation has never been established. The FBI confirmed the forgery. They never identified who did it. So In 1995, British producer Ray Santilli released 17 minutes of grainy black and white footage purporting to show a U.S. military autopsy of a creature recovered from Roswell. Three figures in hazmat suits dissect a pale, six-figured being with distended abdomen. Fox Television paid up to $250,000 to air it. Over 11 million viewers watched across 32 countries. Even the UFO enthusiast community quickly concluded it was fake. In 2006, Santilli admitted it. The alien body was a prop, built over 3 weeks by Doctor Who special effects artist John Humphreys in a flat in Camden Town, London. The military cameraman was a homeless man hired off the streets of Los Angeles. Santilli claimed he was recreating genuine footage that had deteriorated before he could buy it. He never produced the original footage or cameraman. The film still recirculates on social media as authentic every couple years. The tunnel theory holds that Area 51 connects to other bases across the American West. And Roxanne went over this a little bit, but there is apparently hollowed out chambers for alien housings and classified research. There's that. Jacobson, so somebody notes a real 828 nuclear weapons were detonated underground at the adjacent Nevada test site between 1951 and 1992. Those numbers are real. So, yeah, contaminated with plutonium and not connected to anything else on record. So, yeah. 1996, a documentary featured an unidentified man claiming to have been a former Area 51 engineer who worked on a flying disc simulator built from a recovered alien aircraft, alongside an extraterrestrial he called J-Rod, a gray-skinned telepath who helped with propulsion systems. His identity was never confirmed. His claims were never corroborated. J-Rod.
J-Rod.
J-Rod, that's so funny. So, in 2011, a book included a claim from a single unnamed source that Roswell was a Soviet psychological warfare operation. Stalin and Joseph Mengele had engineered child-sized humanoid beings with oversized heads and placed them in aircraft designed to look like flying saucers, intending to trigger a War of the Worlds style panic. Senior fellows at the Federation of American Scientists and National Security Archive criticized the claim sharply, noting all the details appeared in existing public available UFO literature. The New York Times called it hasty-sounding addendum. Okay. To otherwise solid investigative book. This is so dumb. The base is active. Airspace is closed. The satellite imagery was classified until 2018. It is now visible on Google Maps. So the buildings and runways are visible from space. What happens inside them is not. Now, Rox is going to tell us about my favorite part of this episode.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, before we let you guys all out of here, before we end this, there have been some not so serious moments for the Super Steffi secret site. In 2014, a tour bus full of elderly tourists accidentally crossed the no trespassing line. They were met by camo dudes. This is what they called them when they were interviewed. Camo dudes in white pickup trucks and held at gunpoint until local sheriffs arrived. It was a stark reminder the military doesn't care if you have a senior discount. They care about their information monopoly. So in June of 2019, college student Maddie Roberts created a Facebook event titled Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop Us All. Or Can't Stop All of Us. This is my favorite. The plan was to meet at the Area 51 Alien Center tourist attraction and Naruto run into the facility. The premise being that if enough people charged at once, the guards' bullets simply couldn't hit everyone. Within weeks, over 2 million people marked themselves as going. Air Force spokesperson Laura McAndrews issued a direct statement. The U.S. Air Force always stands ready to protect America and its assets. Yeah. Security at the Groom Lake gates was visibly increased, additional fencing was installed, and the camo dudes were supplemented by local sheriffs and state troopers. The FAA closed the airspace over the area to civilian drones and pilots for the duration of the raid weekend. When the day of the assault finally arrived, only about 1,500 people traveled to the tiny desert towns of Rachel and Hiko, and only about 150 people made it to the physical gates of the facility. There was no charging and no Naruto running into the line of fire. Instead, people stood around, took selfies, chatted with the police, and turned it into a tailgate party. But there were a few diehards. One arrest for public urination at the gate, one arrest for alcohol-related offenses, and one arrest for a man who actually tried to duck under the gate. But that's it. So, like Amy opened with, the state of Nevada and the towns surrounding the site seemed to be in on the joke as well. In 1996, the state of Nevada leaned into the madness, officially renaming a 98-mile stretch of blacktop the Extraterrestrial Highway. It's a desolate road where the speed limit is 70 miles per hour, but the eyes of every traveler are glued to the sky. But if you happen to be paying attention to the road, you may come upon the Black Mailbox. For years, it was the unofficial meeting spot for UFO hunters. Even though the rancher who owned it eventually placed it with a white bulletproof version, because enthusiasts kept stealing his mail, it remains a pilgrimage site for those hoping to see something in the clouds. And finally, Rachel, Nevada, or the UFO capital of the world by default. It's the closest town to the base. The entire town acts as a gift shop. There's no gas station, but the nerve center of the town would be the Little A-Lee Inn, a bar, restaurant, and motel where the decor is 100% X-Files and the conversations are 100% the government is hiding something. Of course, the most visited area would be the main gate. There's no welcome center, just a cattle guard and a no trespassing sign. Tourists engage in a weird dance with the camo dudes. They stand inches from the restricted line, snapping photos of the men in sunglasses, who are snapping photos of them. It's a high-stakes tourist trap where the souvenir is a potential $1,000 fine or a face-to-face encounter with an M4 carbine. I suppose the government never considers just how enterprising Americans can be. The state tried to erase the base from the map, so the public responded by putting it on every t-shirt, magnet, and roadside diner in the state. It's a gritty, beautiful middle finger to the government secrecy, proving that you can't keep a secret when there's a buck to be made off of it. Area 51, a place that officially didn't exist for 60 years, yet managed to become the most famous plot of land on the planet. We can draw all the borders we want and put up as many no trespassing signs as the budget allows, but curiosity doesn't obey a restricted airspace. The truth might be out there, or it might be buried under 6 feet of Nevada salt and a mountain of NDAs. But the legend of Area 51, it isn't going anywhere. And that's it, guys. That's a wrap.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Area 51. Boy, oh boy. I mean, I just think it's like you said at the beginning, it's very America. It's very, to me, it's like, it is Americana. Like I don't know. I can't imagine not knowing about Area 51 and knowing about all the conspiracy theories and hearing about it and all that. Like, it's a part of America, you know? So yeah, we really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Yeah. And we will be doing a rewind that'll drop next Thursday after this. Yep. So listen for that. We're going to be going over how we felt about this season. I mean, if you guys can't tell, I think this is probably one of our favorite ones yet. We had so much fun with it, or maybe it was just like a breath of fresh air, I guess.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, we will definitely announce our first episode and our next season at the Rewind. You guys should tune in. And if you have any other questions, you can always visit our site.
Yep. It's just in and it's grim.com.
That's right, guys.
See you later. Bye.